bOXLEITNER is best known for his starring role in the TV series Scarecrow and Mrs. King. Nowadays, you're more likely to see him on horseback, both on the screen and off. You can catch him this Sunday night on the CBS miniseries The Gambler 3. And when he isn't working, you can find him raising horses and spending time at the rodeo. I had a chance to talk with Bruce bOXLEITNER recently, so take a look. Bruce bOXLEITNER, tell us about Gambler 3.
The Gambler 3, starring Kenny Rogers. The legend continues.
And Bruce bOXLEITNER.
Yes, of course. Well, originally it was just Kenny Rogers, but I've been able to sort of hang on his coattails here with this character for the last two gamblers. So I'm the only original member of the family.
You guys have been the same dust, I guess, for a long time.
We've been saddle pals for a while. You know, actually 7 years since the very first one. But A Gambler 3, it's kind of it's a rollicking sort of comedic western. We're sort of a Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid pair. But this time around, we have a little more of a historical setting, really pinpointed in a certain time, in 1890, which this is probably our, though I say it's a comedic western, this probably has the most serious subject matter we've ever dealt with in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In other words, it's a very dark page in American history. Events that led up to the Wounded Knee Massacre in the Dakotas.
So dealing with the Sioux out there.
Sioux Indians, yes. And we have a lot of historical characters running through the thing. Sitting Bull being the main one. And I don't think people were aware of his career in show business at the time, and how that kind of bumped into his actual reality of being a Sioux Indian and the plight of his people at that time. And we have Buffalo Bill Cody, played by Jeffrey Jones, which is probably the most unique portrayal I've ever seen of a character. But we're kind of Brady Hawks and Billy Montana. Kenny and I are kind of immersed into this story and then pulled out just before the final tragic act happened.
A lot of good actors working on this one.
This is one of the best casts. George Kennedy, Charles Durning, Dean Stockwell, Jeffrey Jones, Melanie Chartoff, Linda Gray.
And that's a who's who of Hollywood.
It is. It's terrific. And everybody delivered those are just some of them. We have many also Native American actors and actresses who, you know, haven't before had a chance at TV.
You did your own stunts. A lot of them.
Oh boy, Ken Cragen's been talking.
Yeah, he did.
Well, we do a lot of
the bar scene. I want to hear about the bar scene.
Well, the thing in a Kenny Rogers Gambler picture is that we have at least 3 major brawls in it. They're the whole time, you know, John Wayne type brawls. Everybody more or less gets up at the end, a little bruised and knocked silly, but no one gets seriously hurt. And they're kind of fun. They're played for comedy. But we filmed. Kenny and I took on the 7th Cavalry in a bar room, and Linda was in there swinging too, and Melanie too. She was kicking him in the head and things like that. But anyway, the stuntman and I went slamming into the bar, and there were a whole bunch of mugs and shot glasses on there. Well, no one told me that they weren't breakaway, and there was a real shot glass there with a little tiny nick carved out of it. And of all of them on that bar, I had to hit that one. That gave me a nice big scar here.
Sure did.
About 7 stitches, but we were way away from the hospital, and I was bleeding kind of bad. I didn't even know about it. I looked down and said, my God, I'm bleeding. And so they rushed me away, and they cut and did something else and waited for 2 hours while I got sewed up and brought me back, and then we shot the scene.
One little part that I heard about. This is the bullet, right? They gave you a bullet to bite on in the hospital.
I'll tell you, okay. We go to this hospital in Santa Fe. And I'm still in all my wardrobe, spurs and everything, and I'm you know, it was a rush job. And a guy come along with me, one of the ADs, and the doctor, she says, the nurse says the doctor will be in a minute to come sew you up. And so I was expecting a doctor. This beautiful woman comes in, and the AD says, well, I'm gonna, gosh, look at this, I'm gonna run out into the parking lot and get hit by a car so I can get sewed up too.
Just to be
anyway, it was wonderful. And I still had a bullet belt on. And for a joke, we put I bit the bullet, you know, bite the bullet,
like
the old term.
In the old days.
And I bent right through that thing. Oh, I'll tell you, I about bit it too. We saved it. But anyway, we went back to the set and finished the fight, carried on, and then people started talking about it.
Listen, you and horses go back a long ways. Is Kenny Rogers as comfortable around horses as you are?
Yeah, he's raised them for a number of years. I believe he still has some down in his place in Georgia. He had Arabians for quite a while. And I have quarter horses, and I team rope now and do a bunch of rodeo stuff.
You got pretty bruised recently.
Yeah, I got injured in a rodeo down in Houston last weekend, which it wasn't anything serious. I can still move my arm.
Yeah, that's good.
But
you once rode your horse to the top of the Rocky Mountains, what, the Great Divide, I guess?
Yeah, that was quite an experience.
Why?
Why not?
Well, that's a good answer.
It's right at the top of the world, you know.
It's got to be beautiful up there.
Oh, it was gorgeous.
Especially on horseback.
Yeah, it is.
What's next for you?
Well, actually, as we're talking about Western things, I start another Western for CBS, November 19th, which I guess, when this is aired, we'll have started it already.
That's correct.
But
you like Westerns. Why is that?
Well, I guess it's always been a boyhood fantasy. I've always been in love with the cowboy movies and Western myth, but not many people in my generation want to do them anymore. And I really believe we should continue the genre. I think it's an important part of the American identity, and I don't want to see it lost.
Well, I hope that you continue doing that, Bruce bOXLEITNER, because you're very good at it.
Well,
thanks a lot for being with us this morning.
All righty.
It's a pleasure. Today's clip. Coming up next, we have Music Walk.